In this video, we are going to solve one probability question from GMAT, but probably could also be applied for SAT, and could be a little bit hard if you don't understand the whole concept of this exercise. But before that, thank you so much for watching this video from student grade A, and that's the best way to learn, improve your math skill to pass on GMAT, SAT, those type of crazy tests that in the future will help you to get, for example, NBA, for example, one scholarship, all those stuff like that. I'm going to present my screen here. And as you can see, we first need to understand what is required. So let's read here together this exercise. In a certain youth soccer league, so it starts already here. Who says soccer? It's football, come on. There are 10 teams, each game in the season in a match between two teams from a league. If each teams play each of each other teams exactly one time, how many games are played in a season? Those probability questions, they always put soccer, football, some sort of league to analyze those certain things, color, also some characteristics. But here it's required to from a small league with 10 teams. Each teams in a season is a match between two teams, of course, but they need to maybe exemplify us just to, if someone doesn't completely understand the game, right? But it's always a game between two teams. It wasn't necessary this information, but for you it's always good to record those numbers here. So of course, if you understand the concept, I will apply a formula here. I always scared about formula because sometimes we don't remember them, but I guess this one it's worth to remember. It's a very important one, but it's always good to capture and record those numbers. But here I just want to simplify what is required. So here we just need to know about the question, right? How many games are played in a season? So here we have 10 teams right here, right, listed, and we have maybe team A, B, and C, whatever, you can call whatever you want. But for the first round, team A will play against B, and then TA will play against C, and then TA will play against D, so on and so forth. But let's just imagine for the first team. So we have one game here, two games, three, and so on and so forth until complete 9 games. But when this line here, I'm exemplifying for team A. But for team B, just remember, because we don't play against ourselves, and also once already have one line record, I already have one of the games recorded here. So for this line, it will be 8. Just be careful with those type of information because it is helpful to understand what is required. When we have those type of this situation, we are going to analyze a combination. But of course, if you already understand this concept, you don't need to draw. You just need to remember, oh, of course, if I'm watching Champions Leagues, for example, there is a ball there, they randomly select one team to play against the other. So I'm going to select from 10 teams, I'm going to select 2 teams. That's the way that you can picture and figure out on your mind to analyze this information. And here I'm going to write this equation. My formula will be my n, my analysis of combination of p numbers that I'm going to select. It's going to be n factorial, p under p factorial, n minus p factorial. So if we back here and substitute all those informations, we are going to have 10 factorial. This, how many numbers I'm going to select is going to be 2. And here it's going to be n minus p, 10 minus 2, 8 factorial. And now we just need to remember, what does it mean factorial? Factorial, it's going to be 10, for example, factorial of 10, it's going to be 10 times 9 times 8 times 7 times 6, so on and so forth, until I go until 1, right? And here I do the same, right? It's also factorial. It's going to be 2 times 1, and here 8, 7, 6, and so on and so forth. But I'm going to write in a different way this equation. I just did that to exemplify how it's done. But in this type of equation, we can simplify because we are always going to cut two parts. We don't need to solve the whole thing here. It's simplified actually, because here, if I go to 10 factorial, I can write this as 10 times 9 times 8 factorial under 2, and 2 factorial, it's going to be 2 times 1 equals to 2. It doesn't matter, right? And then under 8 factorial. In this way, I just need to cut 8 factorial, and then I can solve my equation. Here I can also simplify. This 2 I cut with this 10 will be 5, and then I solve 5 times 9 equals to 45. That's the number of games that I'm going to play in this season, number C. That's my